Hey, and happy Working Wednesday. I hope this week has been wonderful for you so far. And if it hasn't, I hope it starts to turn around, even possibly with this video. This week, I'm dealing with conviction and obedience, and I want to share a story from my personal experience to help support today's conversation. So, this past weekend, I went to the Beyonce concert. The Beyonce concert was cool. She's an awesome performer. She has truly been blessed by God with incredible talent. And everyone knows since the beginning of time I've been a Beyonce fan. So this gift was cool. Um, Moving forward, as I was in the concert, I started to experience a level of conviction that I could not ignore. As I was in the concert, and even before the concert, I had shared with a few people close to me that I had second thoughts about attending the concert. And then in preparation for the concert, I was around people and hearing so many things about, like, literally people having mental breakdowns because they couldn't find things to wear, and there was just like all of this stress and like energy behind being prepared for this concert. So then go into the concert, I'm in the concert, and I start getting convicted, like especially when certain, energy is being introduced and certain songs are being performed, and I'm just very aware spiritually. And so I'm like in the concert and I'm looking around and I'm seeing everyone's like hands raised, singing their hearts out, myself included, and I'm like, wow, I wonder if what would this world be like if we all worship God like this. And I'm in the concert, and I start to feel like this conviction, and I start to realize that there are some things here in this environment in that just do not align with where I am and who God is calling me to be and where God is leading me. And so then after the concert, I, post my stuff. I'm like, and then I really, really start to feel convicted because I'm like, okay, this something just doesn't feel right. Something doesn't feel aligned. This is not indicative of who God is calling me to be, of where I am at this time in my life and this time in my spiritual walk. And this feels disobedient. And I started to really, really, really feel conviction. And so I removed the post. I removed all my content. And it wasn't that it was perverse or anything. It's just that it just didn't align with who I am and where I am and where I'm going. And this is no judgment to Beyonce. This is no judgment to anybody that attends the concert. This is no personal bash. This is nothing personal. This is literally an individual observation and an individual assessment of myself and of my own walk. And I started to feel convicted. And sometimes we can feel like when we experience conviction and we are not aware of what conviction truly is, it can feel like guilt and shame. It can feel very heavy. And for a moment, I felt very heavy. I felt literally sick. I was nauseated. I felt my body just literally felt sick. And then I had to remember that conviction is loving correction from God. In fact, it's promised that God will send us help. It's promised that God will send the Holy Spirit to help us, to convict us, to help us see ourselves and turn away from behaviors and things that we need to turn away from to go in a new direction. And so in that conviction, and when I started experiencing that, and when I had that shift of mindset in experiencing the conviction, I realized that the next step was obedience. And so everything that I experienced and everything that was coming to me through the conviction, I had to then be obedient to it. That's the next step of the conviction. That's the next step of turning and moving closer and moving further into what God is calling you into and what God is trying to reveal to you. And so conviction and obedience go hand in hand, and this is the revelation that God has given me since the concert. And the thing is that being aware spiritually of what is in alignment with you and where you are and what God is speaking to you is so important, because it's attached to your assignment. And we all have different assignments. We all are going to have to carry out our assignments differently as individuals, depending on what your assignment is. What works for me and what convicts me may not work for you, and it may not convict you or the next person. And that is okay, because we all have different assignments, and our our individual instructions from God are personal to our own assignments. I can't tell you how to carry out your assignment. No one else can tell me how to carry out my assignment. But the thing is, we have to be obedient in walking in our assignments, and it feels very scary and it's very unpopular. For me, it's scary because it's lonely, and because it's like when you make the decision that you truly want to be set apart, you really want to do this thing for real in partnership with God. It's scary because it's lonely. People, so many people around you are trying to change your mind and make you feel crazy for making decisions that do set you apart, and they are trying to rationalize and reason with you and get you to change your mind about things that you know that you need to do and have to do for your own personal journey. And so then people start to distance themselves from you, and so then you start to feel like, dang, I don't want to lose everybody. You start to truly see it play out. Like, people start distancing themselves, they stop inviting you places, they stop doing all of these things, and that part feels scary because it feels like being set apart and doing what God has called you to do and being obedient to that isolates you. And that's the scary part. But something that God reminded me of this morning is that what he removes, he restores. And what God removes and what he restores, the things that he restores us with are so much greater than what's being removed. And so keeping that in mind gives me hope, and it gives me the tenacity to continue to move forward in my walk and be bold in it, and to, though it may be scary, to trust it, to trust in God's direction, and to trust in God's wisdom, and to trust that when God gives me direction, that's the direction that I need to take, instead of taking the direction that feels most safe, or that satisfies my flesh, or that satisfies my temporary feelings in a moment. So I want to encourage you, even if it's just one person, I want to encourage you that when you experience conviction, firstly, to recognize that is loving correction from God, and it is the most beautiful thing that all of us can experience. You have to have a conscience to be convicted, and to experience conviction in a time like this, where no one, where accepting responsibility and accountability is like, not really prevalent. It's a beautiful gift to be able to experience conviction, and then to move in boldness in the obedience, though it feels scary, though it feels isolating, though it feels daunting, to move in that obedience and to be confident in that obedience, and to know that your obedience is tied to your assignment, and your assignment has absolutely nothing to do with you. Your assignment has to do with everything and everyone that is connected to you. And in order for that assignment to be carried out, your obedience is required. And so I want to encourage you today, through the uncertainty of the obedience, and through the uncomfortableness of the obedience, to walk in it. Why I was convicted is my own are personal to my personal assignment and to my personal call that God has given to me. That does not have anything to do with anyone else. And it all, like I said, all of us have our walk, and we all have to go in our walk and take our walk, and to just do it. We just have to do it, y'all. And we cannot be afraid. And we just have to really trust that whatever God is directing and leading us into is the direction that we are needing to go. Okay? So I want to encourage you in your obedience, in your convictions. I want to encourage you and let you know that I am here for you, and let you know that I am praying for your walk, and to thank you for your prayers for my walk. So many people reach out to me all the time and tell me that you're praying for me, and I want to let you know how grateful I am for that. And I just want us all to just be to just be in purpose, and to just be beacons of light in this world. And when we walk in our assignments, that's exactly what we are. So I will leave you with this, because I could keep y'all for an hour today, how I'm feeling, but I'm not gonna do that. I love you. I'm praying for your week. I'm praying for your peace, and I am praying for your assignment, whatever that may be and whatever it may look like. And I love the fact that that all of us have different assignments, and we all walk it out different. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. Praying for you. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.